Who's your Overwatch World Cup MVP? You watch it, you live it, and now you decide. Vote now on Twitter using the hashtag #TMobileMVP plus the player's battle tag.
Do 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 and it's me, Gazbot, powering on. Hype, 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 or I should say hype, from Airzuki. Thank you for the hype start. There is my face, and yeah, I don't have anything specifically planned. I'm going for a casual drawing session type thing. I've been doing a lot of Power Ranger helmets that are finished art for prints for a show I have coming up, Ranger Stop in Florida next week, and I should say next weekend. Did I just freeze? No, I'm okay. So I'm going to just be doing sketching and stuff. If people want to throw out requests, I might take them. Keeping in mind, I'm not doing finished art here. I'm just doing sketchy stuff. I think the first thing I'm going to start with is doing the Kraken maybe from Clash of the Titans, the old movie, not the more recent one, because next year, and I think in March, I'm doing a Ray Harryhausen show, and I'm going to have some new art for that. So it wouldn't kill me to bone up on some of his monsters, the Kraken being my favorite, and probably a lot of people's favorites. But like I said, feel free to throw stuff out in the chat. I know a lot of you aren't even here yet, but it couldn't hurt to throw it out early, and it might get picked up. So I'm just looking at reference on my other screen right now just to give you an idea. That is the monster, but I'm looking for a slightly better picture. Maybe I'll just look at the face to begin with. It's got kind of a crazy face. All right, so I'll do a sketch of the... Oh, wait, I found a better one. That's face and a little bit of upper body, so I will go ahead and do that. I'm working in Photoshop CC 2019, mainly because I have been forced off CS3 due to constant upgrades. And let me move this so in case I can see the chat. All right, that's better. So yeah, Ray Harryhausen is an old school special effects guy before CG. He did a lot of stop motion and stuff like that, puppetry and basically anything from like the 60s, 70s, 80s. He was involved with a lot of that stuff. And so the show I'm going to be doing is at a movie theater, which I've done before. Usually it's Godzilla stuff because I do a lot of Godzilla art, but this one will be specifically focusing on movies he's done the special effects for, which I'm less familiar with, but I have seen a few, most notably, as I said, Clash of the Titans, which the main monster in that being the Kraken, which although I know what it looks like theoretically, I haven't actually really studied. I've never drawn and I haven't studied, and I actually haven't seen that movie in a couple years. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller so that I can fit a little bit more of his torso. Oh. One of the things Photoshop changed is, and I've complained about this before, is to squash and stretch, you used to have to, it would automatically squash and stretch, and if you wanted to keep the proportions, you have to hold shift, and they've completely changed that, so reversed it, so now I'm always hitting shift when I don't have to. All right, so, and again, I'm not doing finished art. I'll probably do like a quick pass like this, and then maybe sketch over it a little bit. Hey, Ox, what's going on? I love that we got a hype and then a what up? Hey, thanks for the host, Ox. I appreciate that. And a Skeletor with, I know it's a sword, but it kind of looks like a lightsaber. I guess it's a power sword. Anyway, I'm happy with all of those versions of things. I'm just doing some casual sketching here, Mr. Ox. Right now I'm working on the Kraken from the old school Clash of the Titans. But I'm not going to spend too long on any of these. I'm just trying to loosen up after having done all those Power Rangers headshots to get back in the zone of just normal drawing. Yes, a lot of cats from Airzuki. And another Zooks! A lot of long drawn-out words today. I enjoy it. But yeah, so if anybody wants to throw out any kind of request, feel free. Oops, I meant to put it on the same layer. I might pick it and do a quick 5-minute sketch of it or whatever. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to bring this layer down. I had it at 50. I'm going to bring it down to 25. There we go. And I'm not doing a great job of being perfectly accurate, but again, I'm not trying to kill myself with a finished product. I'm just sort of trying to get the feel of this character while at the same time get out of the zone of the stuff I had been working on. I love that there's a mutual admiration society going on between Airzuki and Ox right now. Back and forth. Who can be the most emotive? Who can say the longest word? Who can be the coolest online friend? And it looks like he has two big ridges over his eyes, and then there's like a cresty thing up here. The reference I'm looking at, I can't quite see what it looks like, but I'm not going to bother grabbing another one. He's almost got kind of a Klingon from Star Trek ridges on his forehead, like this kind of situation, like very bony. Like if you shot him in the forehead, it would just bounce off. Of course, this character is actually gigantic, so you have to shoot him with like a jet plane or something. Yep, the emote's going back and forth, fast and furious. There in the chat. He's got like a big old nose that's sort of pointed up, so you can see his nostrils. And I'll pull in the reference I'm looking at real quick, just so you have a vague idea what I'm doing. That's kind of the picture I'm looking at. And again, that's sort of a miniature that was built in 3D pre-CGI. So it's got and it also has a little bit more of a cartoony look. Like I don't think they were going for like realism the way we do nowadays. Like what would a sea creature actually look like? They were just like they almost built it like the way you would build a mask for someone that was wearing it. Although I don't think there was ever a person in a suit, but it does sort of have that aesthetic. There is a lot of darkness around the eyes here, so I'm just gonna fill that right in. And then a lot of ridges. This definitely, it's deceptively detailed. Like it looks like, oh, it's got a couple big shapes, and it does, but there's a lot of different textures on them, which I'm not going to get into now, but it'll help me later when I'm doing a more finished piece. And it looks like he's kind of got more of an underbite. He's got that beak up top, but underneath he's got a couple more traditional fangs and teeth. And he's got his mouth open, of course, so you can see more of it, but most of the pictures I've seen, you don't normally see the top. I don't even know if he has top teeth or if it is just a beak, but you see more of a, for lack of a better term, an underbite, as I said. Let us see. Airzuki says you should tag your stream. As drawing, there's a warming up tag too if you wanna. Robot Smiley. I did tag my stream, and once again, it doesn't show up. I don't understand how Twitch works. So I edited it twice. Let me see. I'll do it right now. Edit it. I have it tagged with digital art, drawing, comics, English. Does that not show up? It does show up. So I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're saying I should tag it specifically with warming it up? Warming up. There. Warming up. I've added that. Done. I see them. It says casual drawing art stream taking requests, art, and then it has my 4 tags underneath. Do you not see it? Oh, you see them now. I don't know what's going on. Twitch is stupid or you're making a mistake. Either way, I don't want to spend too much time on technical crap. I'm trying to get drawing done here. It's very important that I casually, quickly draw this monster. Less so the tags involved in streaming, which is probably not a good way to get followers. I don't care if people can see it as long as I'm drawing. Let's see. You have to click update information. Yeah, they're up. We got him, dog. Although I don't see the one I just put on about warm up. I only see the original 4 I put, so I don't know what's happening. This guy almost has, as I'm putting him together, it makes me think of like a goblin or something, like from almost like the villain from the Gummy Bears or something. Like, I don't know if those are orcs or goblins or what, but something about the ears, I think, makes him look less like a sea creature and more like something out of the Lord of the Rings. Of course, that might be different once I put texture. And if and when, well, I'll say when, because I do have to get something done for that show, and this will definitely be part of it. When I do a finished piece of this guy, it'll be in color, and I'll certainly incorporate like a shininess, like he's come out of the water, maybe have some water dripping off him. So regardless of the design, it'll be clear he's coming out of the water. There's that. And he's got a lot of scales and stuff, but I'm going to leave that all out. Whoa, we got a bunch more stuff going on. I can't even keep up with the chat. Life is hard. That's right. Hashtag life is hard. Got some boofies. Whoa, Greg Scott Bailey, the man, the legend. You're the man, legend. You're the legend man. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. We got dogs flying around. It's all good in the neighborhood. All right, so I'm not going to spend too much longer on this. And for Greg and whoever else is in there lurking, as I said, I'm just doing sort of casual, sketchy, warm-up, loosening up stuff. So if anybody wants to throw out a request, feel free. I'm not guaranteeing I'll do it, but, if it sounds good, maybe I will. If it sounds challenging or whatever. Also, I won't be producing finished art. I'm just doing quick, sketchy things, as you can see. I'm almost done with this one to give you an idea of the level of detail I'm going to be going with here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. I might do another Ray Harryhausen monster, or I should probably practice some werewolves and unicorns. For those that don't know, I am a member of a group, as is some of the people in the chat right now, called The 100s, which is based off the 100 Days of Making Comics Challenge. And the members of that, a year or so ago, put out an anthology called Life in Space with people who have completed the challenge. And I had a pinup in that. And then they're putting another one together right now, we, however you want to say it. And I am going to likely have a story in it. And the theme is werewolves and unicorns. So I should probably practice drawing those, because I've probably drawn both of them a handful of times. Probably werewolves more than unicorns, but neither one recently. Ox is saying we need a unicorn kaiju. It's funny. I think Marsh said that, another member of the 100s, and there was sort of an idea. I'm just gonna do a little bit of his hands coming up here because he does have 4 arms. I think there was an idea that is most likely what I would do, because I am known for doing a lot of Godzilla art. My own comic, The Horror Ray 4. You can see where is he? Is he? Nope, this side. That's my creature. He's a gigantic thing. I'm drawing a kraken right now, so I definitely have a reputation for doing that kind of stuff, and I do like it very much. And I had an idea early on before it was definite we were doing the book. I didn't even know if I'd be in the book, blah, blah, blah. And again, I'm still not officially in the book, but I'm preparing for it. I feel like I probably will be in it, and if not, maybe I'll just do the story anyway. But I digress. I had my initial idea was for some sort of unicorn kaiju, and I don't want to talk about it too much because maybe somebody else will do it, and if not, maybe I'll revisit it one day. But that was like my first gut reaction, and then I'm like, well, why don't I do something different? Because that's what I'm always doing. And then I got an idea that I got pretty excited about that actually is quite different from this type of stuff people have seen from me before. Not necessarily in drawing style, but in terms of, subject matter. All right, and then there's 2 more arms back here that I'm not going to get into. All right, so I'll just save this in case I don't even probably need to save it, but I'm going to save it anyway. Let me go to desktop, work in progress. I have so many folders I need to organize, and we'll call that Kraken. All right, so let's close this guy, and then boop, and then open a new one. Here, you can see here these helmets. I don't know if that's coming up on the screen right now. Those are like the Power Ranger helmets I've been working on, and there's a Godzilla headshot. And for those that don't know me or haven't followed me, that's the kind of stuff I'm normally doing. So these actually are somebody else's work. I was doing an online class where I was critiquing some stuff. Those are just left in there. So now open a new. Oh, there we go. Create 11x17, 300. Some more chat that I'm not. Oh, Stay Hydrated Bot. Good call, Stay Hydrated Bot. This time I have some water. It's tap water in a Snake Eyes glass from the G.I. Joe movie. I'll turn off my mic. And I'm back, more hydrated than ever. Woo! H2O on my tongue. All right, so let's see. Ox is high-fiving the Stay Hydrated bot. The Kraken should totally be holding a like snowflake. Wait. Oh, like this? That's pretty funny. I sub that idea, but I don't think it fits the kind of stuff I do. Maybe as a goofy... If you had said that before I was done, I might have incorporated it in a goofy little sketch like this. But I think for the type of show I'm doing and the type of art I'm known for, I don't think that would be the best thing to put with my stuff. But I like the idea. You should do it. And then Erzuki, yes, in real life, because these things... Wait, what? Because these things are real. Oh, I missed the question. Gazbot, who do you think would win in a fight of unicorn versus werewolf in real life? Then she makes fun of herself for saying they're not real. Samurai Ox is saying werewolf for sure. They've been put on this world as killing machines. Erzuki says, oh man, what if a unicorn decided to be a werewolf hunter and coated the horn of pure silver? I love the conversation that's going on. I do agree that probably werewolves would win. In terms of strength and stuff, even if the unicorn coated its horn in silver, I just don't think it's built for fighting. It would have to like surprise and ambush the werewolf, and I just don't think their mind works that way. I don't even know what I'm drawing. I just started drawing a circle. However, if they were intelligent, then maybe a unicorn could do it. But more importantly, if the unicorn had magic, if they were like a My Little Pony, unicorns have magic, teleportation and stuff, well, then it's no contest. But all things being equal, the general stereotype of what these fantasy creatures are, werewolves are going to win 99.9% of the time, in my not so humble opinion. All right, let me see. I'm just going to put in Harryhausen and see what monster comes up. I know he did a bunch of skeleton stuff. Although, how I'm going to make that... Well, I guess I would make it look like his skeletons by the accessories they have with him. Like so. Like, you can see here, I think this is from Sinbad. So, like, the skeletons themselves have a little bit of a specific style, but they're basically skeletons, but they have certain shields and swords and stuff. Maybe I'll see if I can find a better picture of that. Clever girls, says Ox. Clever girls, I should say. Let me see. Harryhausen skeletons. Skeletons. Oh, they actually, looking at these, they do have... I'll show you real quick what I'm looking at. They do kind of have a specific face, like the grin. The mold of the skull is definitely not 100% just what it would actually look like, but somebody put a little bit of aesthetic twist, whether intentionally or not. So maybe I'll just practice doing that, just kind of getting the way those skeleton faces are. Because again, if I had to pick one thing, it would be the Kraken. If I had to pick two things, it would be the skeletons. Beyond that, I'm not sure what I would do. So I'll just go ahead and let me switch my color here. It's sort of a brownish red. Not that I have to, but I did the green for the Kraken. All right, so sort of pretend one's here, and then the other one's here. And even though they're skeletons, I'm still going to have the little crossbars because they have faces. I might do 3 passes on these as opposed to the 2 I did on the Kraken, just because they're a little bit more complicated. And skeletons are a little bit harder. Like if you get something wrong, quote unquote, like there is an actual anatomy to it. Even though these are sort of a stylized anatomy for the way they built them, it's a lot easier to tell it's wrong than doing a Kraken, which is a completely mythical creature that, even though there's a right and wrong way, unless you're staring at the model, a right and wrong way to draw that particular Kraken, unless you're staring at the model, most people wouldn't know if the scales are a little out of place or stuff. But it's easier for people to tell if bones don't look right because they've seen skeletons more often, whether in a classroom or, maybe they have an X-ray closet that they look at themselves in every day. This is also a weird perspective. I'm kind of looking down at the skeletons in this reference. Let me show you the reference again. I have it a little bigger. So I'm kind of looking at that picture there. Toot 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 toot. Sword. Toot 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 toot. And I assume there's a shield here, although it's not showing up. They're like Captain America skeletons. They all got to shield something, and they love America. Actually, I don't think America existed in that time period of this movie. Yeah, this is a really weird... I wonder if this one's supposed to be like on an outcropping or something, because this one, you almost look like you're looking straight down at it. Maybe he's leaning way far forward. I'm not sure. But bring that down, and then try to get a little bit more of the actual detail. Whoa! Craig Scott Bailey, back again! I didn't know you... were you kicked out? Did someone have a fight with you? What is the drama behind the scenes that I missed? Why is this at... Oh, it's at 30%, which I didn't mean to. Klutz. All right, so... When I'm looking at the eyes, the main thing I'm noticing about the way Harryhausen does the eyes is it's kind of Ghost Rider-y in that there's almost emotion there, whereas a human skull like isn't really capable of showing emotion because it's bone. All the emotion is in the face and the tendons. Well, in the face obviously, but in the tendons and muscles and fat and stuff being sloshed around on our skulls. But he sort of has the brow ridges looking a little bit more vicious again, the way you would with Ghost Rider or some kind of demon, where there's movement or emotion on a skull face that wouldn't exist, but for the purposes of the movie, it makes them more sinister. Also, the way the teeth are, and this is probably a product of having to create a miniature, it looks like there's like 10 teeth instead of like 20, so it almost gives like a gap tooth kind of thing there. And I think this nose should be down a little bit lower, the hole for the nose, I should say. Greg Scott Bailey, now I'm in and out when at work breaks and time is sporadic. Oh, I didn't realize you were at work. Well, thanks for jumping in when you can. Every view is happy and helpful and appreciated. You could, if I had more of a story going on, it could be just a podcast where you wouldn't have to look. But well, let me tell you, this is Gazbot, and today is every day. We're gonna have a story in 3 acts, following one specific subject. Act 1, Ray Harryhausen. Act 2. Skeletons. Act 3. No, that is my awesome impression of Ira Glass from This American Life. I know you were all confused. You're like, did I accidentally put on a podcast? Yeah, that skull face is not quite being what I want to be, but I'm going to keep going and just sort of move on to the rest and maybe come back at that, look at it again in a moment or two. And you can see a bit of his shoulder blade, like the wings on the back sort of sticking forward. And then the bone of his shoulder here. And it bows out. It is interesting because at first glance, these skeletons are just like accurate skeletons. But the more I look at it, the more I see that they're very stylized. Especially, wow, okay. In our forearm, we have 2 bones. I think it's the radius and the ulna is what they're called. So this should be 2 bones. But it looks like they just sort of have like a divot. And arguably that could be because, oh, well, there's like rotten flesh and things that like, calcified or mummified on it. Maybe. But I think really it's just an artifact of human hands having limitations of how small they can create things. And I can't even really see the hand that is holding the sword because of shadow and stuff. So I'm sort of faking it here and not really doing it super accurate, but that's okay. And put a sword. I love that shark. Ox, you got some good emotes. You got the hype, hype, hype. You got the unicorn pooping out its rainbows. You got the shark. You got the multi-tiered where you got to drop them in a few times. I dig it. All right, so he's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 ribs. So I'm going to try to get 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, real small. But oh, I see I kind of got the arc wrong because they're real wide, like out here, like that. Whatever. I'm getting too hung up in it. Like I'm trying to just keep it loose and flexy and whatever, but it's really hard for me to do that. I am going to go ahead and use the digital magic to grab this whole skull and bring it down a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit more accurate to size. Mashadar! Art for days! Mashadar for days! You gotta mash it up. Ooh. Oh, it's Smash It Up. Wrong lyrics from a 90s Offspring song. All right, so there we go. Same thing. You can see the forearm, again, one solid sort of bone. This is all in shadow. I can't really see it. I'm not going to get too crazy. I'll just pretend that. And then the shield is quite big. Like I said, kind of like a Captain America shield, where it comes up past the elbow joint and then past the hand. So it's, I mean, this is Jason and the Argonauts' time, so I don't know. What are these supposed to be, Greek soldiers or something? But they're also dead, so they're older than him. Although I guess they could have just died like a year ago. Whatever. So this is all in shadow, but I'm not going to get... Oh, here, I'll just do this. There, it's in shadow. That looks terrible. But the point isn't to make a nice piece of art. The point is to practice. Ox, just kicking it and hanging out, debating on... You should always draw more today, Ox. You, of all people, know that. You teach me about having a better work ethic. You are a work ethic. Your samurai ox and your sword is your pen, and your master is your work drive. What? You know what I'm saying. You get it. If you put the pieces together, there's a nice message there. All right, I can't really see how they're doing the legs, but clearly there's sort of, ball socket, that sort of weird L shape that legs have, and we'll just leave it at that. I'm going to go ahead and draw the head skull on this one, and then I'm going to move on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. If you're chatting, cool. If you're lurking, that's cool. Everything's appreciated. Hope everyone's having a good time. If you're thinking about drawing, you should draw. Greg, oh my God, new Overwatch character out today, too. Oh, yeah. Q was just telling me about that. A new, what's her name, Jessie? Somebody, I already forget her name. Her name is Hash. No, it's Ash. But she's kind of like a cowgirl person. She sounds cool. Oh, news that I just got from my buddy the Big Dog. Toy news. We were just me and him were talking about the Genji figures and ones that have come out recently. Not the Pops, but I forget who puts them out. But it's a high end. Who? Figma. Thank you. The Figmas. And I was saying how yeah, I'm not gonna get them. Whatever. And I don't play a lot of games, but I do play a bit of Overwatch, and I do like the character designs a lot. I got a Tracer Pop and Airzuki, who I live with, out of marriage. Out of marriage? We are married. We live together. She's got quite a pop collection, but they just announced Hasbro got the license and is putting out a line similar to Marvel Legends in the Black Series, so the price point should be more like $20, $25. First in the series, Mercy. She looks awesome with her wings, and she's going to be part of a 2-pack, the other half of which they have not yet announced. So, might be time to sell those Pops and get some Black Series, even though they're not mine. They're Airzuki's. Oh, she's agreeing. Ash, new gunslinger. Yes, correct, Greg. And then Ox... Fine, I'll draw more today. Saw that, Greg. She can actually nullify people's supers. Airzuki says, I guess I could type. She's yelling at me from the other side of the room. But yeah, the Mercy looks really cool. If you get a chance, just look it up. I forget the name of the line. It's from Hasbro. It's like Ultimate Overwatch or some name like that. All right, I'm going to bring this level down to 50, and then actually I'm going to completely get rid of that. I'm just going to go in and do another pass on one of these skull faces because I feel like that's what I'm having the most trouble with because it's so stylized. And once again, anybody that's here chatting or lurking, I'm just doing some rough casual sketches. Right now I'm working on various Ray Harryhausen stuff, which is miniatures from 60s, 70s, and 80s because I have a show coming up next year, so I'm just kind of practicing. But if anybody has a request or something they'd like to see me try a little sketch of, throw it out there. Maybe I'll do it. I'm not doing finished art, so it would just be a quick little sketch, but, you know, couldn't hurt to ask. I might say no, or I might say yes, or I might just break down and play some Overwatch. All right. You know, okay, I just made a classic mistake here. I'm going to erase all of that because I wasn't looking at my reference picture, which, again, for those that are just joining, I have over here, and it's got this weird stylized skull from the sculpture. Airzuki going to lurk a bit. That's cool. People enjoy Airzuki yelling in the background. Buy me the toys, please. Thank you. Airzuki and I both collect toys, so there's no person in the relationship that's like, stop wasting money on toys. It's more like, which toys should we waste money on? But I was saying I just made the classic mistake of instead of looking at my reference, I started drawing what I know or what I think I know instead of what I see, and I'm very guilty of that. So I'm trying to not do that. I'm trying to not just clean up the image I had underneath while imposing my own ideas of what it should be, especially because even if I 100% knew what an accurate skull looked like, you know, which I don't, I feel like very few people could do that out of their head. You know, there's probably some. But even if I was 100% accurate, it would still be wrong because this isn't a skull from a human. This is a sculpted skull that a human made. So I'm trying my best to force myself to look at that as opposed to what I think it should be. Once I go in with, if I was doing a finished piece of art, a print or a poster or something like that, then a little bit of my interpretation can certainly come into it, and that's what makes art in a lot of ways. But at least in the beginning, I like to sort of be as accurate as I can figuring it out. Sort of the whole learn the rules before you break the rules. I'm getting that a little bit wrong, but you get the idea. Mashadar says, sketch MASH in a Vision Center's outfit, aka pharmacy outfit. Sketch a ninja making a sandwich. Sketch a basketball becoming a tennis ball on a bowling alley. What is happening? I kind of understood the first two, but that last one, a basketball becoming a tennis ball on a bowling alley. It's like the most boring transformer ever. What is it? It's more than meets the eye. Oh, it's just another piece of sporting equipment. It's in the wrong arena for this sport. The top one sketch. Do you work as an optician or in a vision center? Is that your aspiration, or is that just completely random? The world may never know. Mashdar. To be fair, my drugs at the moment have made me sleepy. Okay, fair enough. Like your drugs are like, you know what we need more sports transformers, and not even like a giant basketball robot, but just like a basketball. All right, so the other thing I'm looking at with these is the human skull. Well, there's several plates and pieces, but generally speaking, it can be broken down into two pieces. The top, which is the top of the mouth and the cheeks and the everything else, and then the jawbone. Again, arguably there's more pieces than that, but those are like the two main pieces. But I'm looking at the way they have it sculpted, and it's one piece. I imagine there might be different puppets or sculptures for close-ups if they need the mouth to open and close, but what looks like the way it's created, at least in the reference I'm looking at, is it's created sort of with an open mouth that does not move because there's no seam line right here. I actually give it more than it should. It connects right here. So the only line you would see would be a shadow, which is absolutely not accurate to human anatomy. And again, the teeth are sort of bigger. I made the line here, but I should have put it up here. Yeah, that's making it look a little closer. And very gappy. I wouldn't normally draw every tooth like that, but that's kind of what they look like. And then this inside is super dark, where normally you might see if it was like a reference photo of an actual skeleton, you might see the back of some vertebrae or something like that. It looks like it's painted black, so you can't see through. And again, this is technically connected, so I'll just make sure to break that line a little bit there. And then this comes in a little bit more. Yeah, it's very interesting. I don't know that I've ever tried to copy something that was trying to copy something realistically like this. Vision Center of the Arazuki MASH is all about the glasses life. Our LASIK surgery offends both the old gods and the MASH. Arazuki and I both had LASIK, so we don't need glasses or contacts anymore. At least not yet. Maybe we'll need reading eventually. MASH says, oh no, it would never offend me. I just know one day I'd see you in the future. As you get older, I just said that. And then Arazuki says, can't escape those reading glasses. That's true, but I look forward to it because I'm a big fan of David Tennant as Doctor Who, and he had reading glasses. Matter of fact, when I had glasses, the last pair I had before I got my little got my zapper in my eyebows, were loosely modeled after his frames. I found a pair that was close to his as I could. So the idea that I could repurpose those frames I bought, they weren't cheap. They were like $100-something bucks. I could get reading bones in them. I'm looking at skeletons. I could get reading lenses put in, and then I will become a Time Lord. Perfect. The plan is set. Yeah, again, going back to the way these are not accurate, is like this is so super black, which for cartooning shorthand, that makes sense, but in real life, they're not quite that black. And I think the nose is much bigger. It's all very exaggerated because in real life, the model is probably like the head is like that big, like an action figure, but it's meant to represent a 6-foot tall, 5-foot tall skeleton in the movie. So it's interesting. I think, let me turn that off. Yeah, it's not quite there. I'm going to put in a shadow layer, and then I'm going to be done with this and move on to something else. Let me see. So like, yeah, I'll probably lower the opacity on this. What I like to do sometimes is put the shadow in full blast like this. And yeah, it definitely has heavy shadow under the cheekbones and there. And then continuing out here. A lot of what would be seam lines and bone, cracks in real life are just shadows or paint on this model in here. Can't escape that. Ox, I love how nerdy combos get with you too. Well, you are what you eat. What? We're not eating. I do eat nerds. Yes, I eat the candy. Win. I didn't have any for this Halloween, though. Sorry, bees. My cat is sleeping next to me. I actually bonked her on the noggin. Erin is watching. Whoa, Erin is watching me stream on my phone and purring. She would give you bits if she could. Cat cam. And then there's a sleeping Erin. That is very accurate. Well, Uzi is right next to me, and she's not watching anything but the inside of her little cat lids. She's probably dreaming about me giving her snacks when she wakes up. And then when she wakes up, she'll be like, yo, where are my snacks at? All right, so I'm going to take this shadow layer and just bring the whole thing down to 50. Yeah, maybe actually 25 might be more accurate. 50. Again, I'm getting too much into the rendering and whatever, so this is just sort of a quick study. I do think I didn't quite get it perfect. That's the skull face I was going for. So I probably if I was working on final piece, I would go back and rework it some. But for just the first time kind of study, I could live with it. So we'll save and close this. And again, I don't need to save this stuff, but I'm a hoarder with digital files because it doesn't take any space and whatever. We'll call them skellies. Okay. And then instead of opening a whole new one, I'm just going to erase all these layers. Let me see. What was MASH? Do I want to take any of MASH's suggestions seriously? Let's see. MASH in a Vision Center outfit. No. Basketball becoming a tennis ball. Bowling alley. Sketch a ninja making a sandwich. I don't even know how I would do this. Sketch a basketball becoming a tennis ball. I was thinking it was a tennis racket. Not that makes it make more sense. This is gonna be a nightmare mess, but I'm gonna have an attempt. So okay, I'm going to start with the background. Here's the bowling alley, right? And I'm not using reference for this. I'm just drawing it out of my head. I haven't bowled in a while, but I used to bowl a lot when I was a kid. So I think I could kind of fake it. So those are the gutters, right? And then that's like the line you stand on, and it's got these little jimmies here. And there's a bunch of like wood paneling lines that would recede into the distance. This is very one-point perspective. Over here, we got the ball thinger. You know, the ball's coming up here. Hey, look, balls come up. And then I guess there's a tunnel that they must travel along, right? And then this would be like a gap in between. And then there's more pins over here. And same thing, added infinitum. So I'll just sort of indicate, pretend that's going on forever. And then down here, we got a bunch of little pinnies. There should be one in the middle. I know that. That's the head pin, the king pin, the 10 pin, whatever. Wow, those don't look like pins at all, but whatever, who cares? And then up here it says like bowl dome. Yeah, you're welcome to the Bola Dome. And this is like neon, whatever. And then there's like a disco ball. Banana disco ball. Okay, so then we're going to take this whole thing and bring it down to 50, just so I could have this as a backdrop. And then what was it? A basketball? Hold on. I see new chat, but I want to look at the old chat. Sketch a basketball becoming a tennis ball on a bowling alley. It's like someone playing tennis on a bowling alley using a basketball for the tennis ball. That doesn't make it make more sense. That makes it make less sense. All right. So a basketball. Because so you're saying, in your revised statement, the basketball does not become a tennis ball, but is used as a tennis ball on a bowling alley. But there's no net on a bowling alley, so I don't even understand. So basketball, I think, goes like this. Everything I know about sports, well, most of what I know about sports comes from sports movies, because I don't actually watch sports, but I like, movies about sports, and or the fact that I do caricatures, so I've had to draw like people, like make me a basketball player and stuff, and then I've had to be like, what does a basketball look like? And my recollection is that it has lines kind of like that. And then, yeah, I shouldn't have done that all in orange. That was actually a mistake. And then I'll pretend there's a bounce here, right? And then it's going to go up here. So let me get an arc. Oops. Get an arc going in like that. And that's where the magic happens. That's where the transformation happens. And then, oops, that's way too big. And then it becomes a tennis ball. And a tennis ball sort of has lines. It's kind of like a baseball, I think, like that. But it's got like a little fuzz to it as well. And I'll go ahead and grab a color. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it green and orange. Because when I was a kid, I never played tennis, but for some reason I always ended up living near tennis courts and stuff, and I used to find old tennis balls and play with old tennis balls. And some were green and orange like that, and those are my favorite because those were like extra cool looking. All right, let me look at the chat real quick. Mash says, well, Ox is laughing, justifiably. Mash says, well, I mean, you could put up the net. It's like people playing tennis on a bowling alley, so you would have... you're crazy. Erzuki, you're not the only one. I don't know what pills Mash is on, but they're interesting. Mash are. It's random. Sometimes random stuff. Yeah, it is random, but it's the thing where whatever you had in your head, I don't think is what I'm creating here, but that's fine because, we're still getting something out of it. And then right here, I want to, again... continue this over here. In the middle, if somebody wants to throw out a suggestion that's maybe a little less complicated, like, draw a dog, draw Spider-Man, draw a car, something like that, maybe I'll do that. Or maybe I'll just do another Harryhausen thing after this. Actually, yeah, the next thing I'll do is something Harryhausen, and then another request if one pops up. But I do want to put some kind of like magic, transform, blah, 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 blah. Some little sparkies. And then, yeah, I'll kind of have a squash and stretch like, whoa, here it goes. It's happening. No, that's not good there. I want the transformation to be happening at the bounce point. I forgot. So this is all just energy effects coming off. And then here at the bounce point, I'll kind of do a dotted line. Actually, let me use a different color so it sticks out more. I'll have like a dotted line of what used to be the basketball. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. And then inside that, it's becoming a tennis ball. I think I need to put some color there. Sometimes random stuff. Oh no, it looks amazing. If you you want normal stuff. Draw a cat wearing sunglasses. Drawing a Twitch streamer playing Overwatch. Master, you're not a simple person. I will say that. Your requests are certainly complicated. That one makes more sense. It's not as random, but in terms of like work involved, like I got to draw a person, a chair, and then a whole video game inside. Cat wearing sunglasses is a little bit simpler. I agree. Let me put some magic rays. I'll use yellow. Actually, I use blue so it stands out. Boom. Wabat-sagabit, wabat-sagabit, wabat-sagabit. Good thing I have all these official sound effects. And then I'll go ahead and do some sparkles and light and stars. And, oh, you know what? The way I drew this, what I intended was that the basketball lands, bounces, and turns into a tennis ball. But the way I drew the action lines, it looks like they're both coming out, like it was like one single thing, and it's like separating. Can I easily fix that? I have to. I probably could mess with it more, but I want to move on to the next thing. So I'm just going to call this done. And we'll call that what? There we go. Save. Save. It won't let me save. Why is it not letting me save? Save. Oh, maybe I can't because of the question mark, but it usually would give you an error message. So we'll just say what? There it goes. Okay. Now we'll erase those. And I'll find another Harryhausen before I come back to requests. Ox is saying you should teach me the different background designs you know. Are you talking to me? But the different background designs I know. I don't know what that means exactly. Could you elaborate on that? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just not. I really am not 100% sure what you mean. I also just learned I don't know how to spell Harryhausen. Okay, there we go. Harryhausen images. Let me put monster. Oh, there's the big Cyclops. That's another famous one. Maybe I'll do that next. Oh, and the metal guy, which I think might also be from Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, it's funny. I feel like I haven't seen these movies, but I recognize a lot of the monsters. So maybe I saw some of them when I was a kid and just forgot. I'm looking at references while I'm looking off screen right now. Oh, and the Medusa. A lot of the Clash of the Titans stuff I'm going to come back to because the Medusa is cool. Maybe I'll do the Medusa right now, actually. Ox clarifying says, you know, all kinds of cool things like the Kirby dots and such. Oh, so you're not talking about like the bowling alley. You mean just like special effects and stuff? I don't know that I have a catalog like that. I guess because I just did all that like fake energy. I was only kidding when I was like, I know all the energies. Like I'm just making garbage up. I mean the Kirby dots. Sure, I know, but I feel like just by saying that, you know it too. That's literally like for those that don't know. What it's referred to as Kirby dots, or I've heard it more often referred to as Kirby crackle. But what you would often see is like a fist, and this is Jack Kirby is a famous Marvel Comics artist. He worked with Stan Lee back in the day and helped create most of the Marvel universe. He did other publishers too, but so you'd see a hand, and then you would suddenly get black, and then what he would do is if there was some kind of cosmic energy or whatever, there would be a lot of black dots like this coming off of it. In various ways. Sometimes it'd be a circle, sometimes it'd be trailing off almost like smoke. Sometimes they'd be like bigger and smaller. But you know, this is the general idea: is you're building an energy signature, a pattern with dots like this, and that would be called Kirby crackle. You saw it a lot in a lot of the cosmic heroes like Silver Surfer, and if Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four developed some kind of invention, you'd see this a lot. So you know, there's that. Let me see. He says K Crackle. I couldn't think of the word. Yeah. So that's Kirby Crackle. It's a very simplified idea of what Kirby Crackle is. Let me erase that layer because well, I guess I inadvertently took a request right there while I was looking up reference. Let me see, Cyclops or Medusa. Well, I'll put it to the people in the room. You want to see me do the Cyclops or the Medusa sketch? Those are the two I'm looking at right now. And I'm going to take a sip of water while you guys think about it. I also have to remember there's a slight delay, so I ask you, and I'm like, man, it's been 30 seconds. Like, you probably don't even hear what I'm saying until like a minute later sometimes. Well, Samurai Ox is saying Medusa, so if nobody else speaks up, it's going to be Medusa. I'm going to give it a second while I pull up some more reference. Cyclops or Medusa is the two choices. Let's see. I could go with a headshot of Medusa. She's got some cool detail, but I feel like I've been doing a lot of headshots, and there's a lot, and I feel like I'd be better served to do. Oh, that's awesome. Just here's the that's the head, which is pretty cool. But I think I'd be better served working on maybe a. I also like when they would show a lot. There'd be like a light on the face like that reflecting from the shield or something. The way he filmed it did a good job. Like the cinematography of it highlighted the strengths of it as opposed to the weaknesses. Here's a picture, by the way, of Ray Harryhausen working on the model. You can see how it's big, but it's supposed to be, a 6, 7 foot tall monster, and it's quite small. So the detail in it is good, even though it's, limited, like when I was talking about the skeletons and stuff. So I'm going to go with Medusa because nobody else is voting. So Ox, you're controlling the nation. Your one vote certainly counted this time. And I'm just looking for, again, a picture of the whole body. Here's one. It looks like a statue. Okay, I'm gonna use this as a basic reference. So again, it's less about the detail on the face and more about this sort of snaky body she has. Let me bring this down to 28. So I'll kind of get a gesture first. And the snake kind of comes down and then up and then coils in. She's actually got a rattle in this version, which I liked a lot. I remember as a kid when I saw this movie, that scared me. Like something about she'd slither around and she had the bow and arrow and she could turn you to stone by looking at you. Like she was, but something about the rattle was more scary than if she was like, I'm going to kill you. Like she didn't really talk, like it was just like she's hunting. She's not interested in taking over the world or stealing your money or making you feel bad. She's like, no, I need to kill you because I'm a monster. And I realize I've made this hard on myself because not only am I figuring out the anatomy of her monster body, but she's shooting a bow and arrow, but she's also shooting it in it's not a straight on shot. It's like this more dynamic shot, which is cool, but this again might be good for a finished piece of art, but it's maybe not the best one to choose to study from, but whatever, I already did it. And so now I'm stuck with it. So we go back here and I'm kind of making up what happens here because I can't quite see it. And the head's up a little higher, so I'm going to bring that down. And then she's got all her snakers coming off here. And she's got her chesticles right there. Chesticles. Those are boobs is what they are. All right. And I'm going to make sure this is laying flat because she is raising up, but she's got to have something supporting her weight down there. And that's good for a foundation to build on. Let me zoom out for a second. I'm going to shrink the whole thing just a skosh. Oh, again with a shift. Inversion. Shift inversion. Okay. That works. And bring it back up. Deselect. I'll bring this whole thing down to 25. 25. And then I'll go into the secondary layer. And I think this is going to be kind of like the skeletons where I'm going to do 3 passes maybe, but I'm not going to get super crazy detailed. I'm going to enlarge. I'm going to make my reference bigger on my screen here. Not the one you could see, but because I'm having trouble this area. Oops, that is not a pen. This area right here I can't see very well, so I'm going to see if I zoom in I can see it better. Oh, it says something on Pinterest. I hate that. I do a Google search and it comes up with something from Pinterest, and then when I try to look at it, it takes me to some website, so I'm having trouble zooming in. So okay, so we're going to fake it till we make it. I don't usually... Oh, you know what? Maybe I could open link, a new window, open image, a new tab. I'm going to open image, a new tab, everybody. Now I could zoom in. No, I still can't really zoom in. All right, whatever. We're just going to go with it. This is just a study. I got to keep reminding myself to stay loose and not get too crazy, which is kind of the whole point of this exercise/stream. All right, so again, after I'm done with my little study on her, if anybody has a suggestion, I might take one, so feel free to throw them out. I mean, we just got done doing a basketball turning into a tennis ball at a bowling alley, so no idea is too crazy. I don't guarantee it'll get picked, but I've proven that it could happen. All right, so she's got some sort of normal anatomy on her arm there, deltoid, and the biceps on the inside, a little bit thicker and more muscular than I would have guessed with that before looking at it. Although the thing I'm looking at now, I'm unclear if it's a model from the actual movie or it's like a sculpture somebody made after the fact. She's got really thick hands too. Like, even though she's a woman, the whole body, with the exception of the face and the chest, like the arms are very thick. Like she's a bodybuilder or more masculine than the rest. But I guess that makes sense because she's a monster. Like, so she doesn't have standard human physiology. Does she only have 4 fingers? One, two, no, no, she's got 5, but they're just really smushed together, probably because, again, the limitations of model building. And what I want to do is do this, and I couldn't figure out why. She does not have that, but that's how the Little Mermaid is. The Little Mermaid has like this sort of dress top that goes into her fishy bottom. Dress top, fishy bottom, yeah. Medusa does not have that. What she has, you kind of see her butt kind of start like a human, and then it turns into the snake part. And then right around here, there's a division, but it's not a perfect line. It's more like there's heavy scales here, and they get a little lighter and lighter, and it's like a gradation. And similarly here, you have her rib cage, and she's got like extra crazy ribs, more than a normal person would have of either gender. And it just, yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. And then she's got her breasts here, which are somewhat normal, like just this one area. But the more I look at this, the kind of like with the skeletons, the more the anatomy is fantastical or stylized or whatever you want to call it. And then, yeah, I kind of have this turned a little bit. So this line here actually represents the front of her. She does not have a belly button, which is cool because I can't imagine somebody actually giving birth to her, which is how you get belly buttons. She was probably birthed in a cauldron of evil. And then right here, again, there's sort of a gradation down to, there is a line right here, but this line is the distinction, the division between the top and bottom of the snake body. So this is where I don't know what you call them, but that's kind of how a snake moves, I believe. I'm not sure if my science is right, but what I remember is that these little things move, and that's how a snake is able to slither forward. And so that part of it sort of is phased, gradiated into the top of her more human body, but there is a hard line in between the two halves of her snake body right here that is a little bit raised, and mostly the color is different. And since we're not doing color, I'm not going to get too heavy into that. The bow looks like a standard, I don't know, longbow or whatever, like just no compoundness or whatever. It's just like a arch with like a little handle and a handle, arch, whatever. This should match up like that, although we're not going to draw that string. I'm going to put my finger on the screen. You can't see me doing this, but I have my finger on there right now. And then, maybe you can see it in the video, but not on the screen of Photoshop is what I mean. Okay, so we connect that. And then I'm going to follow the line. I'm going to draw the arrow using the shift tool. It makes a straight line. I got to do it a few times. It's not my favorite tool. There's probably a better way to do it, but for right now, I'm just going to stick with that to make the shaft of the arrow be completely straight. This is already getting more detailed than any of the other ones I did, I realize, but whatever. I probably won't do another pass. This will be the only pass I'll do on this one because I started getting crazy with this line. And there's a lot of veins and texture on the skin and scales and stuff, but again, I'm not going to get too into that. This hand, okay, I can start to see she has the, what do you call this, flechettes or whatever? The bow flechettes. they're the wings. Oh my gosh, I can't even remember their feathers, you know? Airzuki says, draw a Gaz. I'm a Gaz. I'm not going to draw a me. I don't know, maybe I will. That's not my preference, though. We'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, so she's holding it kind of weird. It's not how I would hold a bow, and I've shot a bow like 4 times. I'm not going to get too hung up on that. So it sort of looks like her hand is here. I thought like the forearm was up like that, but I guess that doesn't quite make sense. The more I look at the reference, it looks like the arm is sort of way back behind, like all within that circle I just drew. Improved AI, welcome to the stream. Oh my god, who is this sexed beast? This sexed beast is Medusa from Clash of the Titans, the 1981 version, Ray Harryhausen. I'm just doing some studies. I'm not going to get too detailed and finished. And that's mainly what I'm doing is just doing casual drawing, but studying Ray Harryhausen monsters a bit because I have a show that I'll need some artwork for in March of next year. But also, I'm loosely taking requests if you want to throw something out there. I'm just doing like quick 5-minute, 10-minute sketches. Yeah, this whole arm part here is really confusing me. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to erase that. And I feel like you can kind of see the shoulder here, and then just like a shadow like that. And through foreshortening, that's like all we're seeing. So if I end up doing this pose or whatever, I'm going to have to get a different angle from the statue or something because I can't quite understand what I'm drawing. But, okay, going back into the face, once again, I kind of, almost all heads, even if they're inhuman, do sort of an oval and then one of these crossbar things. I can't really see her ear, but it would be roughly here. I'll put a line in for the eyebrow. She's got heavy eyebrows. And then she's got bigger eyes than a human would. And there's dark shadow around them, kind of like with the the Kraken. And maybe that's I wonder if that's like a signature thing that there's always darkness around the eyes. I'm not sure. I also wonder with the Kraken. I know there was no. Well, I'm pretty sure there was no person in a suit, but I wonder with Medusa if in some of the close-up shots there was an actress or an actor. I don't think so, but it would be more possible. And what's weird is she's pointing the bow down, but the way they have her, she's looking up. So I'll have her looking up, and then she's got big lips, but kind of a grimace face, like that. Arizuki, Arizuki, yeah, this is what I meant. Cat, 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 cat. Star Commander's like, what? Yeah, it's Medusa. I'm trying to think in the more recent Clash of the Titans that came out a couple years ago, which I saw, but I don't even remember. It wasn't even terrible. It was just sort of forgettable. I guess they had Medusa in it, but I don't remember. I remember they had the Kraken, and I didn't think the design was as cool as the original. It was okay, but it was, again, more of like a quote-unquote realistic sea creature, which I know doesn't make sense, but scientifically realistic. Like, let's take a whale and an anglerfish and cross it with a dinosaur, and that's what we get, which is neat, but it didn't have the same character and personality. All right, I'm kind of faking it on the hair here. I'm sort of looking at the picture, but I'm not getting too hung up on it because that's a place where you could definitely take some liberties as long as you have the snakes being roughly the diameter they're supposed to. I could get away with changing them a lot to get a different emotion or change the flow of the reader's eye. I'm so used to doing comics. Change the flow of the viewer's eye. So I'll just kind of leave it like that. There is one snake that sort of comes down right here. It almost looks like bangs, like it's sort of snake bangs. Improved AI is the number one creeper. Yeah, I agree. You're the number one creeper. I am, however, going to erase that part of the snake because it's creating a tangent with the hand. And I'm getting too crazy here with the details on this. So let me forget about the whole... Oh, well, I'll just put a string. There, now it looks like a real bow. That would probably be white if I was coloring this. And again, she should have all kinds of scales and blotters. I'm going to, in an unprecedented move, I'm going to draw the end of the tail first because I see it sort of pointed at the camera with the little rattle. And it's segmented like a rattlesnake. I suspect the people who did this used a rattlesnake for reference, which, again, if I was like recreating this character, I'd probably go back to that reference. But I don't want it to look like a rattlesnake. I want it to look like the Medusa that Harryhausen and/or his team created. And yeah, the body is much more segmented than I think any real snake. It almost looks more like a caterpillar, or I don't even know which gives it a nice, cool aesthetic look. And I don't know, maybe if a snake was that big as a 6-7 foot monster, you would notice the segments more. I don't think so, but it's definitely an interesting style that reads as, well, that's this specific Medusa as opposed to a snake creature. And then I'm going to draw the negative space, meaning I'm not actually drawing the tail. I'm drawing the space that I see in between the parts of the tail right here. And then this comes down a little bit in there. I'm going to put a heavy shadow just so it's clear. That's like where it's touching the ground. I'd probably bring that up a little bit more. And despite my best efforts, this is now falling off the page, meaning I didn't mean to have this part of the snake body not be drawn and be falling and be, outside the page. Doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong, but usually I try to do that intentionally if I'm going to do it. And if this was a finished piece of art, I would revisit that and see if I've made a mistake or not. But I'm just rushing to kind of get something down so I can move on to the next thing. That's let me turn that off. Oh, you know what big detail I forgot is she's got a quiver for her arrows on her back, which is one of the weirdest things about her, I think. I don't remember from mythology if the original Medusa had a bow and arrow, but she's this like horrible creature that isn't speaking. She's got a snake body. She turns you to stone if she looks at you. But yeah, she has like a very human weapon of a bow and arrow, and not like some kind of magical one. Like it needs arrows. Like, did she go into town and buy a quiver and arrows, or can she magically make them? In which case, why does she need a quiver? I don't know, it's just a weird detail that it's kind of like, Donald Duck having a shirt is like fine until you think about it. It's like, why no pants? Then why any shirt? Like, it doesn't quite add up and makes her a little bit more disturbing. So, okay, there's her quiver. I'm going to be done with her. So I'm going to do a save as Medusa. And then I'm going to look at the chat to see if there's any requests I might want to take before I move on to doing some other thing, probably another Harryhausen thing. Let's see. Is there any request? Improved AI, number one creeper. Then he says, I still worry about negative space between my arms. I had Gaz commented on it like months ago. Yeah, well, we all got negative space. You just got to be positive about it. Mashadar had to draw switch player streamer playing Overwatch, which I'm not gonna do. No offense, that's what I mean. I'm not doing that. Ox, all kinds of cool things. The Kirby Dots, Kirby Crackle, Medusa. Arizuki had asked for a cat wearing sunglasses. I guess I could do that. I'm just gonna look up cat, not cat print. I'm gonna look up the most generic reference I can. Oh my god, every time I put in cat, it auto-completes cat print because that's the printer I use. Cat. Okay, and then I'm gonna go images. So if I do cat images, this is the first cat that comes up. So he is gonna be my cat, he or she, I can't tell. Oops. And then I'll just throw some sunglasses on there. I'm doing a bad job moving my windows around. What is cat phlegm response? The cat phlegm response, aka the cat stinky face, may look silly or even concerning, but it's actually highly scientific. Let's learn more. So I guess this is actually some sort of article about this face, but I'm not looking to learn. I'm not looking to teach. I'm going to just take that face and sketch it up. Mashar, LOL, draw a pear, draw a broom, draw a cup. All reasonable requests, but I do think I'm going to go with the cat wearing sunglasses at this point. Sorry about that. Oh, Hydrated Bot, I've been live for just over 1 hour. By this point in your broadcast, you should have consumed some, I don't know, whatever. I'm going to take a sip. Excuse me. Woo! Woo! Yeah, that's good. That's some Ric Flair good. All right, so what time is it anyway? 6:30. I'm probably going to end around 7 because I believe Arizuki's going to start a stream. And I don't want to cross the streams. Yeah! All right, so do some ear bones coming up here. Ears are not made of bone. They're probably a little bit of cartilage, but no bone. Well, maybe on the inner ear might have little bones for rattling. But these triangle things, not so much. And I'm already making this too big. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rotate the canvas. And where is that? Image, canvas, image rotation, canvas size. I'll just canvas size it. We're going to change it to be 11 by 17. Clip, proceed, clip away. And then, I did that on the background. That's why. You know what? I'm going to restart this whole mess. There we go. And then I'll fill this with a nice little white. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fill it with gray. We're going to get fancy here. And that way I can put in some white highlights if I want. So let me make that locked for the background. Going back in, I'm going to grab a straight black. And improved AI. Yeah, let's get some Ghostbuster art. Slimer with a bazooka. Arizuki, I'm in the hair and makeup department now. Oh, Arizuki's getting ready for her stream. She's hair and makeup. Excellent. All right, so Slimer and all that's great, but we're already working on the cat right now. So let's go back in. He's got his little triangle ears. Cats have a lot of triangles on them, I feel. They've got triangle ears, triangle nose. I guess that's it. All right, and then sort of a round skull face. But this guy's got some fluffers coming out to the side like this, almost like a bobcat or a manx or whatever you call it. All right, and then his chin is coming down from his muzzle. I'll kind of just do a circle for the muzzle here. And then his nose is twisted up a little bit to the side, and that's the other triangle right there. And then an eye here and an eye here, but this eye is sort of squinted in, and then this eye is more open. And then you get the division of the muzzle like so, and a couple dots, and you get the crazy whiskers coming all out and everything. And then this guy's got his mouth open, kind of similar to the Kraken I did in the beginning. He's got just the bottom teeth showing. Even though we know he has top teeth, you can't see him. I'm going to fill that in black, kind of like the skeletons. It's all coming together, everybody. All right, and then some stripe patterns. There's sort of an M right there, and put a little bit more fuzz over here. Oops. Uzi, the cat sitting next to me, has just gotten up here. Let me show her. Yeah, Uzi, look, it's Republic. She's very sleepy right now. She doesn't care. All right, so, and I'm not going to get into the whole rest of the body. I'm just going to indicate some fur here. And then, I forgot we're doing sunglasses. Maybe I'll have the sunglasses falling off the bottom so you can still see the wacky eyes we got going on. Like this. Sunglasses keeping on a straight line on top. And a lot of crazy hair coming out here. A little dot. And I'll bring this all down to 25. And then another layer. Okay, so I was using a 28 soft. I'm going to go to a hard round pressure and go to 25 diameter to get a little bit tighter. And I've missed some chat. Let's see what's going on. Slimer Tank Girl mashup. It's always freaking cats, says Improved AI. Arizuki, what's wrong with that? Okay, there's a lot of cat arguments back and forth, and there's a monkey smoking bubbles. He's smoking, it looks like on a pipe, and Erzuki, save this drawing. I want it. I'm not even done. Right now it's an ugly sketch. Who knows? I'll save it anyway. I'm saving everything just because I'm a hoarder. A digital hoarder. So let's go a little bit more. And oh, this cat definitely has some like extra little fuzz on top. And we're gonna bring this in. Yeah, this I don't know the breed of this cat, but it's definitely fuzzier than a standard like American short hair. And he's got big wide. A lot of cats, I guess all cats have this, but some it's more noticeable than others. I want to just draw a triangle, but there's if I draw these lines, there's this like extra little acoustic pocket right on the edge there that you don't want to draw too much because then it looks weird. They're not actually, that line is too strong, but there is a segmentation there. And again, I think most cats have it, but for some reason it's more noticeable in some than others. Oops, I just changed my color like a fool. Let me go back to black. Roots. All right. I don't want to get too crazy with details. Whoa, looks like the Samurai Ox is showing us a dog. Improved AI. Pipe, 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 pipe. To be clear, not saying hype with a P. Pipe, 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 pipe. That's what's happening. That's a pipe storm. All right, so let me look at this eye shape. He's got the line coming off kind of like a wing or something in makeup terms. And then this is coming in and down. I want to try to get the eye expression as well as I can. Again, this might not have been the best choice for accuracy for a cat because it's sort of a very cartoony face, so it's making me want to be more cartoony. But, well, you know what? That's fine because this isn't a study the way the Harryhausen was where I'm going to actually have to do something with it later. So I could put a little bit more of my cartoony stylistic spin on it, and it's just fine. I'll have to put a shine on these eyes later. What a weird-looking cat. And I'll keep the M, but I'll shake the line up a little bit so it looks more like it's in a fur pattern as opposed to somebody just drew it on with a marker. And check on the chat. Okay, same stuff going on. Nothing crazy I got to worry about. And then I'll put a little bit of line there, and a line there, just to continue that. There are some sort of whisker hairs coming out of the ear there. And I think I'm gonna. This will be my last sort of line pass, and then I'll go back in with a white and a shadow after this, since I did it on the. Well, I'm calling it gray paper. It's not paper, but that's the effect I'm going for. Is when people draw on a toned paper or gray paper. There's the nose. That nose is way too big. Redo that. The triangle is too big. Erzuki. In makeup terms, we call it a cat eye. Wah, wah, wah. What a fool's the me. What a fool's the me. So I'm going to be doing the nose, the cat nose. In makeup terms, they call it the cat nose. That's not true. Maybe it's true. Who knows? Ha! Cat nose. All right. I'm exaggerating how turned it is here as well. And then this is sort of coming up almost like an Elvis, like like a upper lip. Like there's probably a fang hanging on it, but you can't see it, but that's probably what's causing that shape. And then we'll bring this up. And let me make that a little bit bigger. Like that. Yeah. And then we get these dots, which is usually where the whiskers come out. Sometimes they're really noticeable, like these are like brown dots you could actually see. Sometimes you can't see them at all, like especially on a black cat or something. All right, and this half of the muzzle comes down more. A little bit more standard size and shape. Put the dots here as well. And then Uzi's sitting up, but she looks like she's almost like sleeping. I'm going to show you. Oh, see, she got up and looked. But she was just sitting there kind of like shaking back and forth like, no, I'm awake. What? What? Like, this is my impression of her a minute ago. Huh? Huh? That's all right. She's good anyway, right? Sleeping, awake, you could take it. All right, back to the drawing of the cat that is not my cat. She's like, yeah, that's the problem. Why are you not drawing me? Listen, you don't have this crazy face. Plus, I don't want you to become famous. I want you to stay down to earth. I don't want you living that life. That's C-Lab life. There's a lot of cats have black lips or black around their mouth. This one has like two little things coming down like this. I don't know if it's because of the face it's making or that's just its markings, but you know, you get some heavy black. There you go. And this is coming up. And yeah, like once this again, you can't really see the top, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some black in there and maybe put some shading in the rest. I feel like I should be able to see the tongue. I can't really see it in the reference, but I'm going to draw it anyway because I don't care. I want it to be there. And then, yeah, this is definitely coming out more cartoony than I would have if this was supposed to be an actual reference, you know, that I'm practicing, but whatever. Why is that? Oh, I think the original color I was using was not straight black because see how the ears are lighter, but whatever. I'll do a quick line around them and life will be fine. Look at that. Life is fine. Oh, I forgot to put the little tufts of black on top of the other ear. I had it on the one ear, but not on the other. In the picture, it has it on both. I only drew it in one. Okay, and then this. Oh, sunglasses. Forgot. So we'll put there, in, straight across. I was tempted to make them a little bit more crooked, but I think because the mouth is so crooked, by keeping the sunglasses more straight, it'll look better. And now the question is, do I want it to go over the muzzle or under? I think, again, it doesn't quite make sense that the muzzle would go over them like that, so I guess even in a cartoon, I have to put it behind. But what I'll do is I'll make the frames very dark, but I'll make it so you can see through, so you can still see the muzzle behind it. There we go. Yosh. And like I said, I'm going to do a shadow layer, so that'll be like where I'll put the lenses in and the sunglasses. Maybe I'll put just a little quick shine line like that for now. This is sort of like a mellow librarian Bill the Cat. And kind of got, I don't know if raggedy is the right word, but like kind of a fluff coming out. It's not a smooth line like if you're drawing an average house cat. All right. Anybody just joining us, thank you very much. I am Gazbot. This is the Casual Art Stream. I've been doing YouTube for a while. I'm kind of new to Twitch. So, if you want to throw me a follow, I would love it. Maybe I could make affiliate one day. And the previous ones I did was more finished artwork. I was doing some Power Ranger stuff. Right now I'm just doing casual drawing. I was practicing doing some monsters and stuff for a Ray Harryhausen show I have coming up next year. But right now I am doing a request. Somebody, Airzuki, requested a cat wearing sunglasses. So I grabbed the first cat reference off Google I could find, and that is what I'm doing. Of course, it's coming out a little bit more cartoony than the actual reference, which is fine. But if you have any requests, I am taking requests. Not every and all requests, but you throw it out there, and if it sounds good, I might do it. And I'm just doing, I said 5 or 10 minutes, but I feel like I'm going more like 10 or 15 minutes on some of these requests. But that's okay. The point is that they're casual. They're not super finished pieces of art. They're sort of semi-finished sketches. And speaking of semi-finished, I think this one is almost done for this. And I'll just put a little bit of white and a little bit of shadow, and I'll be done. So leave that as is. And then maybe put a little bit of black for sort of eyeliner on the eyes. A lot of cats, most cats, in fact, I think, look like they're wearing eyeliner. They have like a black outline around their eyes. I'll fluff that out a little bit more on the side. A couple little dandles down there. And then I'm going to I'll do the shadow first. So I'm going to make the whole layer 50%. And I'm going to bring my brush up from 25 pixels to 50. Hi, Bees, speaking of cats. This is a cat household. We've got 3, and one is chilling with me right now. So then I'll take the shadow and go up here, a little bit of fur pattern. There's sort of a very dark brown and a whitish and a lighter brown. And so the lighter brown is what I'm kind of doing now. Because if I drew it with the lines, it would start to get too cluttered. I guess I could do it, but it would take longer, and I knew I had the option of doing some color. So I'm taking advantage of that option. I'm also putting it on top of these whisker dots I did. And, I'm going to put it on the tongue, too. Because, again, in the reference, it's all black, but I threw in the tongue. Mashstar, Ack. Yes, Bill the Cat. Yeah, I was a big Bloom County fan. I mean, I still like it, but as a kid, I was nuts for it. Mash Star says, Green Ranger waiting in line to order Starbucks because even if he's a hero, he has to walk in line for that coffee. Well, I'll tell you what, not even if he's a hero, but especially if he's a hero, he should wait in line and not be above everyone else. That's part of what being a Power Ranger is. Equality, fairness. No, man, I can't cut ahead from you. Sikia! I'm going to get a cappuccino, but in due time. Itsia! That's how he would say it. And I know that because I wait in line when I go to Starbucks, and I'm a hero clearly, and that's part of the life. All right, so a little bit more there. The muzzle is mostly white, so I'll leave that like that. A little bit more in here. What time is it here? Okay, got about 15 minutes left. So I was gonna go back to Harryhausen. I might take another request. I like that idea, but that's a very complicated idea, and I don't think I'll be getting that done in a few minutes. Yeah, Mesh, your creativity, it's funny, your creativity runs 100 or 0. You're like, do these 5 things in this crazy scenario with a complicated background, or a cup. There's no middle ground. Yeah, one of a kind there. You're mashing all the DARs. I can't really see this cat's body, so I can't really be accurate with what's going on down here, so I'm just going to throw some shading in so it looks sort of unified. And I'll put a little bit of shading inside. Hi, Uzi's very interested in my microphone. You want to say something? No, she just wants to sniff it and rub on it, probably make a noise you guys don't want to hear. I apologize about that. And a little bit more stripe here, a little bit more stripe there. All right, I think that's going to be it for that. Oh, put a little shadow on the edge of the eye. Like that. And, oh, the nose as well. Sorry, I keep thinking I'm done, and then I see something else. Matter of fact, I am going to go ahead and erase the shadow I put on the eye, because I think that's too much. Just leave a little bit in there. Ooh, that got crazy. Hold on a sec. Sorry, my eraser is too small, so I was getting too precise of an erase. All right. Now I'll go in with a white layer, which I'll leave at 100%, and I'll put it underneath the mainline layer like that. Oh, should I erase that? Yeah, I'll take that off. And I'll put a white layer there. So let me grab white, and we're almost done. That's at 50. I'm going to bring that down to 20. So we definitely want to put some white in the ears for those whiskers, those ear whiskers. And then you notice I didn't draw any whiskers over here because I knew I was going to do those in white. And he's got some crazy white. And then the teeth should be white, or maybe yellowish, but at least whiter than the rest of what's going on. Mashtar, or the Green Ranger on a street corner in a hobo's playing his drugs for flute tips. Mash, what you're describing is more like a commission. That's more like, okay, I'm going to spend a day doing this, and you're going to pay me, and I appreciate the enthusiasm though. I just moved that layer up over the inks because I realized it wasn't quite working, so I think I'm going to do that and just erase a little bit where I don't want it crossing like this and like this. That makes it make more sense. And in there, I'm just erasing it because the whiskers are supposed to be going behind the glasses. That's why I'm doing that. Okay, I put the little shine in the eye, which helps. And I think I'm going to leave that as like the heavy white, and then make one more layer and bring it down to 50, kind of like I did with the shadows, and make a light white layer. So I'm going to bring this up to 40 pixels. And then I'm just going to do some highlights on the muzzle here. And on the bottom of the mouth. I might even bring this down to 25 when I'm done, because I don't want it to be quite so jarring. But I want to, yeah, this cat has a lot of texture, and like, if I was doing it in color, it'd be a little easier, but in black and white, I'm trying to simulate it. And if I was smart, I would have left it all together and just be like, oh, well, nobody's staring at this picture. I could color the cat however I want. But as much as I'm playing around and sketching and taking requests, I'm also trying to practice like my art skills that are not as commonly practiced when I'm drawing robots and monsters most of the time, and superheroes. All right, put that in there, and that in there. No, that does not look good. But what I will do is maybe put a shine like this. Nah, I don't like that. Oh, I totally forgot to put the shadow on the sunglasses. I'm putting a shine in there now. So let me go back and put a shadow. Do 50%, black, and then do. Oh, this should go over the whiskers because they should not be so bright underneath. So I'm going to just continue creating the black on these shapes, but I'm going to move this layer, which is its own layer, up higher on the hierarchy. You can see the layers over here, so I'll move it up 1. Do I want to move it up 2? No, 1. There we go. Now it actually looks like sunglasses. Excuse me, Mrs. Bees. All right, that came out kind of cool. Do I want to make that white lighter? Oops, where is it? This layer. Do I want to make it lighter? Let's see if I bring it down to 25. No, actually, I think 50 is good. It's got kind of a jarring look to it in general. Maybe I'll make one more layer underneath. I'll leave that out. One more layer underneath. Use white, and then I'll bring it down to 30. Let's see. Erzuki. Oh, wait. Mashtar. It's okay, I'm just faking. No, I know, and I'm not trying to get money out of you. I'm just, for what I'm doing, it's just too complicated. Or I either couldn't do it, or it would be basically stick figures. I'm not that fast. I'm kind of a slow artist, despite what it may seem like. No, I don't like that. With these, part of what I'm doing here is trying to practice loose and fast. But the more specific it is, the harder it is to do that. All right, so this kind of makes me feel like it's an 80s cat, especially with these like design lines I just put in. Bring that down to 50 maybe. Bring it down to 25. I don't know if I like those. Let me erase that and try one more time. I might just want to leave it as is. Or maybe I'm going, well, whatever. I'm saying maybe I should put a dark color behind him. If I take that and put it down to 25. You know what? I think I should leave well enough alone. And I'll just go up to the top here and make a shine on the sunglasses a little bit more prevalent, pronounced. Yeah, this did come out. This came out a lot more finished than I intended. It's not too bad. I'll just go ahead and erase it real quick. No, I won't erase it. I will save it. And I'll call it cat, save, and then I'll go ahead and erase all these layers. And I'll add a new one. And we're almost done here, so let's see what we got with sketches. I'm going to be finishing up right around the time Airzuki starts her stream, so if anybody wants to... I should raid it, but I don't know if I know how to do that. So when Airzuki gets back in the room, if she shows me how to make a raid, she will get a raid. Threats. All right, so were there any more requests? Okay, there were some requests here. Throw some out if you want. I'm probably not going to do another Harryhausen. I'll just pick a request from what's being said in here. Slimer with a bazooka, Slimer Tank Girl, Pear Broom Cup. What else was said here? Build that was from the WoW threads. I'll give it a couple seconds. I'll take a sip of water while you guys catch up to the time delay. I totally did that wrong, where I like turned the microphone back on. It was like gulp. Right now, it looks like I might be going with a Slimer, which I'm gonna have to pull up reference for. Now there was Slimer from the movie, and then there's Slimer from the cartoon. I'm more inclined to do Slimer from the cartoon, to be honest, because he was more of a character in that. Let me see. Although he wasn't always the most entertaining character, but I kind of like that design, to be honest. Oh, with a bazooka. I don't know if do I want to give him a bazooka? Maybe. Maybe I do. Okay, I'm getting a lot of Slimers that are from the movie, so let me see. Real Ghostbusters. Still time. If somebody throws out an idea I like better, I could switch. Slimer, the Real Ghostbusters. Wow, Slimer. That's sort of what he sounded like. It's weird. I'm looking at here. I'll just show you. I'm looking at reference, and these are all like the animated version. But you can see how the design changes over time. Like this one is super cartoony, and then this one's like a lot more realistic. Oh, that mouth on Egon looks crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna pick one that I think looks good and not worry about how definitive it is. To try to, I guess, yeah. Do I want to give him a bazooka? I'm not sure. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But yeah, the toy looks different. Well, they do have the new toy coming out that I think Mezco or somebody's putting out, which I am very tempted to get. I didn't get any of the Ghostbusters from the movie, and I do think it's a great movie and like a masterpiece of comedy. But as a kid, I really liked the cartoon, and it strikes me more on a sentimental level. So Uzi wants to get out. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the cartoon. I'm just looking for the proper reference. I gotta stop looking so long. We don't even have that much time. And for those that don't know, the Ecto Cooler Hi-C flavor, which was briefly brought back like a year ago, it was made for the cartoon, not for the movie. It was Slimer and the Real Ghostbusters, or just the Real Ghostbusters, and then he got his own flavor. I don't even remember what the flavor was. I remember liking it. I feel like I probably wouldn't even like it if I had it now. Oh, you know what? This is gray. I gotta change it back because I don't want Slimer to be. I don't want Slimer to be on toned paper. That's crazy. Oh, you know what? I changed my mind. I do, because I could put a little bit of a green Ecto Glow when I'm all done. So I better just get going because it's taking too long. So I'm going to zoom way out. Oh, good. Thank you. Airzuki just came back and she let Uzi out. Hey, Airzuki, if you tell me how to do a raid when I finish, I'll raid your channel, but I don't know how. Yeah. You just type /raid and then the channel. Okay. Improved AI. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, brother. We're gonna draw some Slimer. He's gonna get up in there with them slime ecto guns and just blast it.
All right. So he's got like eyes kind of like this. They're a little bit turned in to be goofy, and he's got little dotters, and he doesn't have nostrils in his nose, but it's kind of got a shape like he does. And then he's got this. I feel like I'm Creed Stonegate. He's an artist I know, and he does a lot of animation characters, 70s, 80s kind of stuff, 90s even. If he hasn't done a Slimer, he should, because it's like right up his alley. I don't remember if he does. He does so much. Like that's his specialty. Okay, and then he's got a crazy big mouth with a crazy big tongue. I find doing simple animated characters difficult because you got to get so precise with the lines. So if you put your own spin or style on it, it's a little easier. But then sometimes you're like, it doesn't look like the character, and they're not wrong. So I'm trying to not put too much of my own style on this, but I kind of can't help it. But again, this is the rough. I'm gonna do another pass over this. And he's got a lumpy head. Lumpy head. Those eyes probably should be bigger, but again, oh, wait. So let me shrink this whole thing down so maybe I could fit a bazooka. Shift? No shift. Don't hold shift. Okay. Ox, Samurai Ox. You talking about the Ecto Cooler High C? Yeah, what did I not say High C? Maybe I thought I did. Oh, I should go get one of my. Oh, did you save some? That's awesome. When they came back out, I actually didn't get any. I never saw them in the store, and I didn't really want to order one online. I thought I'd see it eventually, and I just never got one. And to be honest, I'm not that broken up about it. Like I wanted to have it, but part of me is like, I feel like I won't like it as much as I did when I was a kid. So it's almost like I wanted it, but I don't know if I want to tarnish the memory. But who knows? Maybe I'd taste it and be like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I feel like the happiness of youth again. And I start running around the block screaming, the truth of the ages. Who knows? All right, so how would he hold? I'm going to leave this be its own layer. Bring it down to 50. And then I don't know how you hold a bazooka. I feel like it's supposed to be up on your shoulder and stuff, but let me see if I put his hand here. I guess you could hold it like a gun, but that's not quite right either. I think, you know what? Because of the time constraints, I'm gonna skip the bazooka because we only got a few minutes left here, and I'm gonna spend a lot of time figuring out what a bazooka looks like, how somebody holds it, how a small ghost would hold it. So I apologize for that, but I also am gonna want to turn this canvas actually. So image rotation 90 clockwise, and then I will take his little body and go do because I want to have his arms sticking out a little bit. Oh God, the shift. Don't hold shift. I'm not holding shift. Okay, good. And then, I could get rid of this, so I could just put the arms in there. I'm kind of. Getting better. I need more hydration bot. There we go. There's that. I think I made that arm a little bit too big. And do. All right. Yeah, that I definitely, and the eyes are not big enough. But we're gonna bring this down to 25, and we're gonna put another layer. I'm gonna get in closer. Yeah, he's a little bit off model, so we'll try to fix that, and then go back in. Full black. Switch once again to hard round pressure size. Take it from 42 pixels down to 25. Let me see. Improve the AI. I need Monster Energy Ecto Cooler. That would probably sell very well. Samurai Ox still tastes totally like joyful and full of wonderment. Improve the AI. Okay, well, thank you for letting the no bazooka slide this time. Yeah, I just don't have the time, really. I should have lowered the opacity on this. Hold on a sec. Sorry. All right. Do. I don't currently have a set schedule, but I'll probably be putting one up in the not too distant future. I have a show in Florida next week, Friday through Sunday, called Ranger Stop. If you're watching this at any point and you live in that area, come on down. So I don't want to set any kind of schedule right before a trip. But once I get back, I'll probably set some kind of regular schedule. Maybe. Because I can't always share the work I'm working on and this and that, but maybe this sort of like Total Request Live, a combination of me studying and practicing stuff while at the same time taking a couple requests in the middle. Maybe I'll make this a regular thing if people think it'd be fun. Who knows? But at the very least, I will set up some sort of regular schedule in the not too distant future. So if you are not following me and that interests you, throw a follow, and then you will, you'll get notifications when I go up, but B, I'm going to, set up a little not notification, what do you call? A schedule on the bottom, like people have, like Airzuki has. But I currently do not. Given that this is essentially my third stream ever, I'm going to let myself slide a little bit there. Yeah, these teeth are crazy, but I wasn't showing enough of the gums. So I'll do it like that. Now we get the gums. Yeah. And if I had more time, I might even throw some color. Because like characters like this that are animated always look better with color because that's how they're intended to be. They're intended to have sort of simple, thick lines, and then the color pops them out. But we don't have time for that. So I will probably just put, like I said, a green glow on top of the whole thing. Maybe a little bit of white for the eyes and stuff. How are we doing on time? It's 1 minute to 7. 7 is kind of when I planned on ending. I'll go a few minutes over just for the sake of finishing this up, though. Okay. Let's see. Mash Star, it's fun to see your process. Thanks, Mash. And this is like a simplified, easier version of my real process. Usually there's a lot more stress involved, which is something this is hopefully helping me get over. I'm coloring this in dark, although it probably would be like red or something like that. But since I'm doing color, I'm just trying to get some contrast. And Samurai Ox, oh my god, regular schedule for art. Gaz is the best. Regular schedule art for Gaz is the best, Gaz. Well, I don't know about that, but we'll see. But thank you for your support in this and all things. All right, I feel like the mouth is going. The eyes are looking better. Yeah, it still looks a little wonky, but I can't get too crazy. It's probably the first time I've ever drawn Slimer. It's funny, there's so many, I do a lot of fan art, and I'm a big nerd, and I've drawn, since I was at least in high school, middle school, and I was doing, fan arty type stuff like most artists in the beginning, but there's so many things that I like a lot that I've literally never drawn. Like Star Wars is a big example. I'm a huge Star Wars nerd, and I've barely drawn anything from Star Wars. And not like at all ever, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if I've ever drawn. Maybe once when I was a kid I drew like C-3PO, you know what I mean? But not since I was 9 or something, which is weird. Okay, I have this kind of blob line here, but I feel like that's part of his face almost. So let me see if I kind of do it like that. That looks actually a little more accurate. They call him Spud because he's supposed to look like a potato, or at least that's what they say. I'll put a little blob line here and connect that. The arms are weird because I feel like in the cartoon he has very cartoony arms and hands so that he could do human-like stuff. But I feel like in the movie he didn't. Like they kind of flailed around and were a little bit more T-Rexy. I could be wrong about that, but when I look at it, the design is weird because he's this blobby blob body and then has like, Mickey Mouse looking hands. But what are you gonna do? I don't know. Finish the drawing. That's what you're gonna do. All right. Have coming up a little energetic. An energy to a life to the drawing is what I'm saying, not like a superpower he has. Okay, Goots, and then let me see, oh, I see, they kind of give him an actual elbow here. That's weird. I didn't think he had an elbow, but again, it might just be the reference I'm looking at. It's not definitely a character who, not even comparing it to the movie, but his model design changed quite a bit over time. Let me see if I erase that. All right, not great. It definitely would need another pass or two, but we're not going to do that. So we're going to go ahead and put some white in for the eyes. Oops, underneath, not where it's actually drawing over what I've drawn. Let me see how many. I need to get Streamlabs going so I can put all that cool stuff up on the screen, like when people subscribe and stuff like that. I downloaded it and opened it, and then I was like, all right, done. But one of the things I have 13 followers right now, so I guess I need 50 followers if I wanted to get affiliate. The other thing I need is an average of 3 viewers per session, which I think I've had at least 3 people watching each time, so that's cool. So if I get to 50 followers, I'll be eligible for affiliate, and then I could do more cool stuff. So if you're not subscribed, please do. If you know somebody that'll subscribe, tell them, please do. Even, they don't have to, even if they don't watch all the time, just having that subscription will help me, so I'd appreciate it. I don't normally like to ask for that sort of stuff, but since there's a tangible number to hit, there's a reason to, I guess is what I'm saying. All right, so I think that's all the white I want to put in for now at least, and let me get a green blaster, get bright green, there we go. And I'm going to switch to a soft round pressure opacity brush and go 100 diameter. That's not big enough. I'm going to go 300 diameter, and then I'm just going to trace around the edge like this to give it a nice glowy green. And up in here. Yeah. See, I do wish I'd put some more color, but whatever. Maybe I'll just trace all the lines like that. Yeah, there we go. Just have a lot of glow coming out. Not exactly how I'd normally do it, but fine enough. And I think I'll lower the opacity down, though, to 75, 20, 50. See, now I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'll leave that at 50, do another layer, and just color it in. There we go. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So I have sort of an outer glow. Now I will bring this down to 100. So I have an outer glow of 50, but then the inside, it's sort of a combination of coloring him in / giving a brighter inner glow, like the energy is emanating from him and dispersing as it gets further from his body. Mash, toss out those promotes on Twitter, folks. Thanks, Mash. I appreciate that. How are we doing on time? Okay, it's 7:04, so we're not too much over, so that's good. But I might, despite all my protests about not coloring, and I wouldn't consider this real coloring, but since I'm doing all this green and I put the white, I might just color in his eyes and tongue, and then he'll be colored. Uh-oh, I hear Azuki starting her stream, so I gotta be done. Oh, she's fixing up things to get ready, so. She started the stream to be on time, but she's got to do a few things. It's Slimer. Guys, I have to be quiet because I'm getting picked up on her stream. I told her I'd be done before she started because she has an actual scheduled stream and I don't, so I don't want to step on her toes. So I think she's going to do some Jackbox games. Okay, almost done here. Put the, oops. These eyes are actually not white. They show him with kind of red eyes or yellow. I think the yellow, again, different versions, but to me, I think the yellow is more classic Slimer. Here we go. There, that looks more like what I think of Slimer looking. And I'll put a little bit on his teeth as well. There we go. Good enough for punk rock. All right, so I'd like to keep going, but I'm going to call that done. So let me just quick do a save. What I might do is I might throw these up under the posts where I shared this so that people could get an idea of the kind of stuff I did in the stream. So yeah, I'll do that. And cool. And let's see what's going on. Toss out the improved AI. Damn this. Oh, thanks. It was your request, so I'm glad you like it. Mashstar. Yeah, art streamers are really underrated. I always love good art streamer. Oh, well, that's very nice, Mashstar. I appreciate that. I do what I can. I make up for all my other deficiencies by trying to engage in friendly chat. All right, so I am going to be done. I have been Gazbot. If you're watching this live, thank you. If you're lurking, thank you. If you're watching this later, thank you. Again, if you can give me some follows, I'd appreciate it. Get up to that affiliate. If not, hey, I understand. But for now, I need to find my OBS. Actually, I just realized I was getting ready for my big goodbye, and I totally didn't have my Switch open. Okay, now I have my Switch open. So I'm getting ready to stop streaming, and I'm ready. This is Gazbot. Power down.